Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I will give you the demonstration about how to insert a data from Active Server pages to the SQL Server database using Visual Basic Programming Language. First I will open Visual Studio 2019 IDE. This IDE is required to create and develop an Active Server page and to execute Visual Basic Programming Language code. First, I will click on create a new project. Then here you can find all languages. I will select Visual Basic because I need to execute the Visual Basic programming language code. Then you can scroll down. In order to develop and run active server pages, here you can select ASP.NET Web Application, that is .NET Framework using Visual Basic Programming Language. So here I have selected this option and then I will click on this next button. Then user need to specify their respective project name. Here I will mention my project name as a demo database connectivity. I have given demo database connectivity name to the project name. Then you can specify the location. This location is your desired location where you want to store your project on your system. So to select the desired location, I will click on this browse. As I wanted to store this project on D drive, I will select D drive. You can select your own desired location. Here I have selected D drive. Then later on in the D drive, I have selected ASP projects as I wanted to store this demo database connectivity project in this location. And finally I will click on this create button. First I will select web forms and then again I will click on the create button. Here the project has been created successfully and it is successfully loaded into the Visual Studio IDE. This is the Solution Explorer. Here you can find the demo database connectivity project and different default active server pages. First, I will right click on this demo database connectivity. Then I will go to the add and here at the bottom I will select web form. I will give the web form name as data. Then I will click on the OK button. So here you can find data active server page has been created. This is the data. It is the file name and having the extension .aspx, which is the extension for the active server pages. This is the source mode. If I click on the design mode, it will be looked like this. So here first I will drag and drop three server controls. First two server controls are the text box. Here I will select text box from the toolbox. In order to select server controls, user need to click on the toolbox, then select text box and simply drag and drop text box to this active server page. This is the first text box. Then again I will click on the text box from the toolbox and I will drag and drop another text box. So here I have dragged and dropped two text box server control. Then I will press enter keyword so that these two server controls will appear at the bottom of the web page. Then here I am pressing spacebar in order to locate the server control in the middle of the web page. Then I will select its height and width graphically. There are two ways to set its height and width. First, using the graphical user interface, and second, using the properties. So first I will click on this text box one server control. Here at the right side you can see the properties of this text box server control. If you scroll down, you will find the ID which is textbox1. I will change the ID of this textbox1 server control. I will give the ID name as txtrno. As I want to use this textbox server control to accept the value for the roll number of the student, so here I have mentioned the ID name as txtrno for this textbox one server control. You can see the height of this textbox server control is 51 px and width is 192 px. Same height and width I can set to the second textbox server control. For that purpose, I have selected the textbox2 server control. Here you can find the properties for the textbox2 server control. First, I will change the ID txt name, as I want to use this server control, textbox server control, to accept the value for the student name. Here I have given the txt name as a ID. Then at the height property, I can pass the value as a 51 so that the textbox control will get its height as a 51 px. Now if you see the width of the first textbox control, width is 192 px. Same width I will set to the second textbox control. In the width, in the properties of txt name textbox server control, I will set the value for width as a 192 px. So now the height and width are same for both the textbox server control. Then I will drag and drop button server control. Here I have drag and drop button server control. I will locate this button server control into the middle of web page. Remember students, in the normal HTML web page, in order to change the location of the web element, you need to apply the CSS properties. But here in active server pages, three technologies are integrated, that is HTML, JavaScript and CSS. That's why already CSS is integrated with this active server page. You can easily relocate the web element. Then using graphical user interface, I will change the height and width of this button server control. Then I will click on this button server control. Here you can find the properties for the button one server control. First I will change the ID of this server control. I have given btn submit as the ID for this server control. Then in the text property of this button server control, you can find the by default text button. I will remove this button name and I will set submit as a text property to this server control. You can find that submit name has been appear on this button. As I have mentioned, CSS is already integrated with these button server control properties. So first I will increase the font size of this submit. Here you can find the font property. If you click on the font, you will find the size property. I will set size as a larger. Now you can see that the submit button submit text has been increased. Now if you want to set the background color for this button, you can click on the back color property and you can select your desired color. You can see hash double F 4 times 9, this color code has been appear at the background of this button server control. So in this way you can also set CSS. Now in order to store the values that will user enter in the roll number server control and student name server control, first I will create the database. In order to create database, you need to open SQL Server Management Studio. This is the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio where you can create your database. This is the server type and this is server name. I will click on the connect button. So here you can create the different databases. I will minimize SQL Server Management Studio. Here in this Visual Studio IDE, at the left corner you can find the Server Explorer. You can click on this Server Explorer. You can also navigate to your database using data connections, which is present in the Server Explorer. So here at the data connections, I will right click, then I will click on the create new SQL Server database. I will give the server name as dot slash I am supposed to give the forward slash SQL Express. Then here I can give new database name. So I will set information as my database name. Then later on you can set the authentication. You will find the option for the two authentication. You can either select Windows authentication or you can use SQL Server authentication. If you select SQL Server authentication, then you can set your own username and password in order to connect database. If you select Windows authentication, then by default Windows authentication will be processed to connect your database. So I will select use Windows authentication, then I will click on the OK button. So here you can see the information database has been created and this file has the extension .dbo. Now I will select the table. I will simply right click on the table and I will click on add new table. You can also create this table using Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. First, I will right click on the databases. I will refresh the databases. You can see the information database that I have created earlier. I will explore the databases. Again, I will right click on the table and I will select new table. First, I will give column name that is RNO to store the student's roll number and I will set its data type as int. Then in the second column, I will give name value to the column name and I will set its data type as varchar and I will pass here 50 value. It means that up to 50 characters I can store the student's name. Then I will click on this save button and here you can give or enter the name for your table. As I am using this table to store the student information like roll number and their name, so here I will give student name to the table. In this way I have created student table. I will simply right click on the table and click on the refresh. Here you can find student table and you can explore the columns that is roll number and name. Now in order to execute Visual Basic Programming Language code to store the values into the SQL Server database, I will simply click on the submit button and at the background Visual Basic page for this Data Active Server page has been created. You can see the extension for this Visual Basic page is data.aspx.vb. VB stands for Visual Basic. Now here I can execute the Visual Basic programming code for the database connectivity. You can see this is the submit click event for the submit button. This is the btn submit click event for the submit button and I will execute my database connectivity code within this event as I wanted to store the value that have been entered by the user in the respective server controls. After click on the submit button, when user will click on the submit button, all the values that are entered by the user in the respective server control need to be stored in the student table that I have created in the information database in the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. So first I will import here. I will write keyword imports and I will import system namespace. Then in the next line again I will write the import keyword, and this time I will select system dot data namespace, and in the next line again I will select import keyword and I will select system dot data dot SQL client namespace. First, user need to import all these namespace. Then here, first I will establish the connection. So in order to establish the SQL connection, I will declare the con as a connection variable. And remember, in the Visual Basic Programming language, you need to take the help of dim keyword, which stands for dimension it, to declare a variable. So using dim keyword, I will declare the variable con, that is con, to establish the database connectivity. Then adds keyword. Now here I will call the SQL connection class. This is the SQL connection equal to new SQL connection, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Then I will call con object here, and using dot operator I will call connection string property. Now to this connection string property I need to assign a connection string value. So in order to locate that value, here at the left corner of the Visual Studio IDE you can find Server Explorer. I will simply click on this Server Explorer. Then I will click on the information database that I have created, and if you see the properties of this information database, here you can find connection string property, and this is the value present in the connection string property. So I will click on the value, I will copy the entire value, and I will simply paste within a double quote. Now this connection string property value, which is required to establish the database connection, is assigned to the connection string property of the SQL connection class. I have called this connection string property using the con object of the SQL connection class. In the next line, first I will open the connection, and for that purpose I will again call con variable, and using dot operator I will call the open function. So in this way the connection will get open. Now I need to write insert SQL query to store the value into the student table. For that purpose, here I will create the CMD variable for SQL command class. So again, to declare the variable or object of CMD command class, first I will call dim keyword, which stands for dimension it. Then I will mention CMD variable name. Then using first I will call the adds keyword, and then I will call SQL command class equal to I will call new keyword and SQL command open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So in this way I have created CMD object of the SQL command class. So to the constructor of the SQL command class, I will pass two parameters. My first parameter is the SQL query, and second parameter is the con variable that I have created for the SQL connection class. In order to pass SQL query parameter, I will declare SQL variable using dim keyword. Here I have called dim keyword, then I have declared SQL variable, and to this SQL variable I will assign insert SQL query. Insert into my table name is student, where I want to store student's roll number and their name. Insert into student values, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. So first roll number value I will receive from the txt arrayNo textbox server control. If you see the data type of this arrayNo column, the data type is integer, and to store the integer into the SQL Server database, here I will mention double quote plus plus, and within this I will call the ID of the roll number text box server control, which is txt arrayNo, that I have initially assigned. So here I will mention txt arrayNo dot, using dot operator I will call text property of this server control dot text. So here you can see that first I have called the ID of the text box server control, that is txt arrayNo, and using dot operator I have called here text property. So this is the first value, that is roll number, I will store into the roll number column of the student table, and using comma separator operator now I will call the next ID of the text box server control, that is name, to store the student name into the student table. If you see the data type of the name column, here you can find the data type is varchar. So to store the string value, or which is present in the varchar data type, first you need to mention single quote, then within single quote you need to mention double quote, then within double quote you need to mention 2 plus, and within these 2 plus I will call the txt name ID of the textbox server control, and using dot operator again I will select text property. So in this way I have written the SQL insert query using Visual Basic Programming Language to store the student information into the student table. Now here, to the constructor of SQL command, I will pass two parameter. My first parameter is SQL query that I have stored in a SQL variable, and using comma separator operator I will pass con variable, which is connection variable for the SQL connection class. Thereafter I will call CMD variable, which is created for the SQL command class, and using dot operator I will call execute non-query function. Execute non-query, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Now when the function will get called, this query will get execute, and the student roll number and name will be stored into the student table. To display the message that query has been executed successfully, here I will take the help of JavaScript. I will call the response object. Using dot operator I will call the write function, and within this write function I will mention here script tag, that is open angular bracket, close angular bracket. This is the opening of the script tag. Again I will close this script tag, open angular bracket, backslash script and close angular bracket. So in this way I have closed the script tag, and within this script tag I will call alert function, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and within single quote I will pass a particular message, that is data added. So after writing this JavaScript query within the response.write, then I will close the connection. For that purpose again I will call the con variable. Using dot operator I will call the close function. So after inserting the value into the database, the established connection will get closed. So this is the Visual Basic Studio Code in order to store the value which is accepted from the active server page by the user into the SQL Server database. I have clicked on this data active server page. Now I will right click on this page and I will click on view in browser to see the output. This is the output of the data active server pages. In the first text box server control, I will enter the student roll number, that is 12, and in the second text box server control I will enter the student name as a Sagar. Student roll number is 12 and student name is Sagar. Now I will click on the submit button. After click on the submit button, you can find that JavaScript alert message has been pop up, that is data added. Now I will click on the OK button. So to see whether the data has been stored into the student table, I will open SQL Server Management Studio. Here in within the information database, you can find the student name student table. Then I will right click on the student table. First I will click on the refresh to refresh the student table. Then again I will right click on the student table, and this time I will click on select 1000 rows. So here you can see the values, that in the RNO column value is 12, and in the name column the value is Sagar. So the value that I have entered in the text box server control has successfully been stored into the student table of the information database. So this is the way to write and execute insert SQL query using Visual Studio Basic Programming Language, and this is the Visual Basic code to insert the value into the student table. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. If you have really liked this video, then click on the like button Share this video with the maximum number of people. And if you haven't yet subscribed my YouTube channel, then please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much everyone.